What
Yeah.
is it, 45 minutes?
Yeah, roughly. I like to go about 40, 45 minutes.
And
And
then cut
then
out the bad 15.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I love a 35-minute episode. That's my favorite. So,
Right. Hey, we're
um,
alcoholics, bro. The attention
yeah.
span's over
Exact
35.
eyes go blank and
Right.
I'll check out after that. So,
For sure. I get it.
happy Sober Day, friends. Welcome to the Sobriety Diaries. My name is Nate. I am a grateful recovering alcoholic, 7 years from my last drink. The Sobriety Diaries is a video podcast where we share powerful stories of recovery told by those who lived them. Check us out at thesobrietydiaries.com for all things podcast related. And for all our video interviews, head over to youtube.com/Nate Kelly. Also, please share this podcast with just one person in your life who may still be struggling. You just never know what they may need to hear today. Recovery is possible. Good morning, Mike. How are you, my friend? You're in California? Is it early as fuck there?
It's 6,
Okay.
but I get up fairly early, so this isn't a problem for me.
Got it. Got
Been
it.
up for a couple hours. How's it going you're in Columbus, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Things are good. You know, I had to turn the heat on last night. It was the first official night. It's been in like the 40s and 50s, so I've been holding off. But last night I think we got to freezing last night. So it's like, damn.
It's the best time of year out there, man. The leaves are changing.
I loved it. It's my favorite time of year. It just doesn't last long enough, you know? And
No,
then before you know it,
there's a small window
yeah.
of niceness.
Same with
But
spring.
right,
Before you know it, it's 90.
right. I love from October through the holidays, and then come January 1st, it was like, all right, all that's done. I'm ready
Yeah,
to. But then you have 4 or 5 months of
that's the stretch. That's tough.
the bleakness.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of just like to jump into things unless you have a question. Let's just kick it.
Let's do it.
All right. I am here with my new friend, Mike Jelinek, joining us from California. How are you, my friend? Good morning.
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. Early Sunday morning. It's quite different from about a decade ago for me on my
Oh,
Sunday mornings, right?
100%. Well, it's 6 a.m. out here. So
Yeah,
10 years ago, I probably would have been going to bed right about now.
exactly.
So
Wow, it kind of turns my stomach just thinking about it. But
the birds
uh
chirping and
right. You
that
get
whole
so
thing.
pissed. I'd be so pissed at the sun
Oh,
just for
yeah.
coming up.
Right.
And what a buzzkill, right?
Right. Well, I lived in Florida at one point, and I remember there was across from our apartment on the other side of this wall were these roosters.
Oh man.
I'm talking about, like, so not only the sun, but you had these things, and I mean they were just going off early in the morning, and we'd be up all night, and it's just like, coming down, and
Right.
just like, oh
The
yeah,
worst. The
it's
worst.
pretty stomach turning now to think about it.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, Mike, I see you active on Instagram and we're here on the podcast
Yes,
sharing
sir.
today. So what prompted you to start sharing your recovery story or sharing out loud in the hopes of helping others?
So I've been in and out of sobriety for a long time. I'm 43 now. I went to my first meeting when I was 23. So it's been a long road for me. Different lengths, period lengths of sobriety, bunch of monthers, a bunch of 6 months. I think I had almost 2 years at one point, and just back and forth. Chronic relapser,
Yes.
if is the term.
Yes.
But finally I got sober in 2017. It was new for me. I started a coaching program, like an online fitness coaching program. And it was really important for me to tell my story, because I was in bad shape, not just physically, but after years and years of drugs and alcohol,
Right.
to show people what's possible. That it doesn't matter how old you are. I was 38 when I got sober. Um, really to show people that even if you're a little bit older, when I was younger trying to do it, I was too young.
Yeah.
right? And then when I was older and I needed to do it, I felt like I was too old, like,
Yes.
well, I might as well just run it in. But I really want to show people that, what's possible, and you can really turn things around, through sobriety, and also, through fitness and taking care of your body as well.
For sure. Now,
Mm.
do you find that the majority, maybe not the majority, but some of your clients are in recovery as well, and they come to you through that route, or is it just mostly the fitness focus?
I would say that maybe half, a little more than half of them are sober. These are people that I've met along the way, people that I was in treatment with or have known from before. But a good deal of them are sober. So, and then some aren't,
Right.
but I have people hit me up all the time. Even non-fitness related, looking to possibly get into treatment, or just people that I knew from before that are struggling still. So it's been pretty cool to see the response and to be able to help people in that way too.
Yeah.
Just having important conversations, even over a DM,
Right.
and people that I didn't even know will see, because I talk a lot about it on my Instagram page.
Right. Right.
And like, I really relate. So I think it was important for me because I'm introverted. I'm kind of a shy guy, and I didn't
Yeah.
really want to put it all out there. But once I did, um, the response was pretty cool. And I believe that if you found something that works for you, it's pretty selfish to not share it,
Right. I was
with
just
people.
going to say that it's awesome that we can find our own sort of niche or our own specialty within the recovery world and
100%.
be able to contribute that in a way that can help other people.
Right.
You with your fitness, I love talking to people and sort of digital content creation. So I turned it into a podcast. I think
Right.
that's awesome that we can find our own specialty and contribute that to the recovery community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we underestimate the value of what we have, like our experience too. I'm not sure if you go through this, but sometimes I'm like, does anybody even relate to this?
Yes. Oh, every week when I press play on an episode.
Right. It's like, what am I doing? And even, if it's just one person, you say something at the right time, and they need to hear it, so it's really more about them than it is about us, or how I feel about doing or not wanting to talk about it on a certain day or whatever.
Right.
And it's great,
Yeah.
you know.
So, Mike, let's sort of jump in here. Tell me when your last drink or drug was, and why was it that day? What led up to that day in particular?
So I was thinking about this because I know you asked this.
Yeah,
It was July. I want to say it was July 11th, 2017. My actual sobriety date is July 21st, 2017.
got it.
The lead up to that, I took my date after I got out of detox. And I want to say it was the 11th, and I was sitting out in front of a detox in Santa Monica,
Yeah.
smoking. I attempted to smoke a little bit of heroin,
Ooh.
and I had one of those torch lighters,
Yeah.
and I went to smoke it and burned the whole thing up. And I was like,
Oh,
it's over,
damn.
man. It's over, man.
Yeah.
Leading up to that, I had been in Florida for a couple of years, and I had a contact out here, somebody that I was still connected with, who was like, come back out. I'll get you into a detox and to a sober living. So that's what led up to it. Just a couple years of running and gunning.
Right.
And up to that point, I had 2 years sobriety. I was working in treatment, relapsed, was out for another couple of years. And that was kind of the end of the line for me.
Sometimes we get just to that point where we have to throw our hands up, right?
Oh
It's
yeah.
just to the end of the rope, and we are down to just a couple choices. In the rims, they say jail, institutions, or death, but
Right.
I feel like in some cases it's even fewer choices than that. So
I had nothing left at that point. I mean, it was, and I was thinking about this before I came on here. Just you get to that place where you've done things you've never thought you'd do,
yeah,
and you're just kind of like, how did I end up here? it's kind of baffling, like
For sure.
how far down we can go.